Me and Beyonce are besties, and it's time you guys know that. Hey y'all, welcome back. So I missed last week. I know, but it was for a good reason. I realized we've been here for maybe like 8 or 9 months at this point, and I've never really introduced myself. But I didn't want to do your typical get to know me video with like random facts about myself because, to be honest, I'm just not that great at those. So I had the idea of enlisting the help of my close friends to send me some questions. If you are new here, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. If you are not new here, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with me. Let's get right into today's video. So I feel like today's video is almost like a little bit of girl talk. So I'm gonna pour myself a beverage so that I can be nice and hydrated for the combo. I feel like the best part of girl talk is a beverage. The strawberry vanilla. I shouldn't give him any free promo, but Olipop, if you see this, let's talk. I used to be a Coke girl, okay? Back in the day, I used to literally drink a large Coke like a coffee for breakfast, and I have since evolved, okay? So now the only fizzy drinks I indulge in are things like Olipop or other prebiotic sodas because, you know, there's a healthy element to them and we love that. I enlisted the help of some of my closest friends to help me come up with some creative questions to answer on this video. So most of these questions are gonna come from one of my best friends. We have been friends for, I think, almost 15 years this year. There's nobody who knows me in the way that she does, and so I knew that she would be the perfect person to ask for some help with this. I am going to give you a little bit of basic backstory on me. My name is Crystal. I am from Detroit, born and raised on the east side. I am a fitness girly. I started my weight loss and fitness journey over 10 years ago. I am not much of a foodie, although I do enjoy trying new restaurants, but it's really just to get dressed and get a cute cocktail. I love a cocktail, okay? I'm not a big mixed drink girly. I pretty much stick to what I know. So in the winter, I'm more of like old fashions, bourbon, whiskeys, those types of things. In the summer, my go-to for the past few months has been reposado tequila with soda water and fresh lime. And that has been my cocktail of choice for the past couple of months. I am currently on a bit of a, I don't want to call it a diet because y'all know I don't believe in diets. But every summer, mostly in July, it's been the past few years, I'll do a bit of an overhaul and kind of cut out some habits of mine. And so I have reduced my drinking down to 1 day a week, which I'm not a huge drinker, so it's not like I drink 4 or 5 days a week, but it just forces me to be a little bit more intentional so that if I know I have plans with a friend at the end of the week, I'll make sure I save my drinking for that day. I am a Virgo, but I am on the Virgo Libra cusp, so I have a lot of energy from both of those signs. No, I am not very deep into astrology, but I am a Virgo through and through. Me and Beyonce are both Virgos. If you didn't know, now you know. So I don't make the rules, but me and Beyonce are besties, and it's time you guys know that. A little bit about what I do for work. So I am the owner of W by Crystal White, which is an athleisure brand that I started just before the pandemic. My formal education is in aviation security, and I know those sound like polar opposites, and they are. But those are the two things that I enjoy most, working in aviation and working on my brand and working in the fashion space, period. But we're just gonna get into the questions now. If you guys love this video, I will plan to do a part 2. If you have a question that you want answered after watching this video, make sure you leave it in the comments. If you make it through the video, be sure to leave me a comment with your favorite question and answer. Number 1, what inspired you to start your YouTube channel? So I've shared this a little bit in the past, but for the past 15 years, what is so funny about this is this friend has been the one pushing me to do YouTube since literally 2009. She always would tell me, like, you need to be on YouTube. And I think because I am a bigger personality than a lot of my friends, like a lot of my friends are very introverted and just very chill and laid back. And I am too in my own way, but I am a big personality. I love to run my mouth. I love to crack jokes. I love to have fun. And I think back then she just saw that I would be like a personality I guess people would enjoy watching on YouTube. But at the time, I didn't have anything to talk about. I didn't have anything that I felt compelled enough to start a channel around. And I didn't watch a whole lot of YouTube at the time. So I just wasn't really familiar and I just wasn't, I guess, interested at the time. So what inspired me to finally start my channel last year was I was on TikTok being very consistent on TikTok, sharing a lot of different videos. And I really wanted a place for all of the different facets of myself to exist. And I noticed that like my TikTok was mostly fashion, my Instagram was mostly fitness, and I saw YouTube as an opportunity to merge the two. And so that's kind of how we ended up here. The other thing was after sharing my video about my weight loss, I got so many comments about how people were inspired by that video. And it just felt like I had found my space on YouTube. And so that's what kind of prompted me to get more consistent with it and really hone in on a niche for my channel, which is health is a luxury. I really wanted to delve into topics like mental health, self-love, self-care, physical fitness, healthy eating, healthy lifestyle changes, just things that enhance the quality of our life and therefore enhance our health, because living a long, healthy life is a luxury. That is a huge blessing. And I realized that is what I wanted to talk to people about. So that's what helped me really hone in on what I wanted to do on YouTube. And so that's how we got here. Number 2, what's the most awkward date you've been on? Okay, I need a sip for this one, child. So I have actually shared this story on my TikTok. I'll say this was like maybe 2010. I met a guy. I'm gonna just give all the details of the story. So I had to go to court for a ticket, a parking ticket or a speeding ticket or something. And I met a guy who worked at the courthouse when I was leaving. So we exchanged numbers. He was attractive. I liked the way he was dressed. We exchanged numbers and talked for a few days and made plans to go out for dinner. It must have been like the following week, because I remember it being like a Tuesday. I think we went out. We make these plans to go out on this date. At the time and to this day, I've always been the type to drive on first dates. I just prefer to drive. So what was unique about this date from the bat was the fact that I agreed to ride with him to dinner. So first things first, I get to his house and he like invites me in, but I just kind of like step in the doorway and like this smell hits me, but he had a dog. And so I'm like, okay, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, he has a dog. So I just kind of left it there. I gave a pass on the smell because I'm like, he has it. It's the dog. You know what I mean? So we get in his car and I noticed that his car is decked out in Michigan paraphernalia. So he has on a Michigan football jersey over a hoodie. Okay. The car has like a Michigan bumper sticker. In Michigan, I'm talking about University of Michigan. So he has a Michigan bumper sticker. There's like a Michigan like basketball in the window. Like this car is decked out in Michigan souvenirs and paraphernalia. So, I mean, me being me, I said, oh, so what year did you graduate from Michigan? And then he tells me that he didn't go there. He never went to Michigan. So I'm like, oh, you're just like the world's biggest fan. We get in the car and he says, I've already picked a restaurant, which I thought was kind of odd. Like part of me was like, okay, cool. But the other part of me was like, you didn't even ask like what I like to eat, what I'm interested in, nothing. So I was like, okay. So we're driving to the date and he's listening to like Eazy-E and like West Coast rap. He's listening to West Coast rap and it's really loud. So I'm just in the car kind of like, okay. This is very, very interesting. We pull up at the restaurant that we're going to for dinner and it was Buffalo Wild Wings. Now, no tea, no shade. Even when I ate chicken, I was never a chicken wing person. Like I've never liked to eat food with my hands, and I definitely don't like to eat saucy food with my hands because I've always worn nails. And there is nothing that I dislike more than having to clean food out of my nails. We get there and I realize it's like the night where you get the like 25-cent wings or something like that. Again, I was not a chicken wing person like at Buffalo Wild Wings, so I was not familiar with like the specials. I just realized it was that night because I had heard of it. I order what I want to order. Okay. So as we're sitting at the table, you know, we get our drinks, they bring us waters, and he is like slurping the glass dry. Like you know exactly how that sounds when you're slurping the glass dry, like there's nothing left in it. He would not let it go. He wouldn't give it up. So I was so uncomfortable. Like I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my gosh, this man is making so much noise drinking this empty water. To the point to where our waiter came over and said, I can get you a refill. And I was mortified because this man he was older than me. He was older than me. I don't remember exactly how much, but he was definitely like a few years older than me. So that was one thing. What made this the most awkward date was that when his food came, he got chicken wings. I got, I don't know, maybe like a chicken sandwich or something. I got something else. when his food comes and he's eating his chicken wings, he's licking all of his fingers. Like licking his fingers clean, and not in a I'm eating chicken wings, let me get the sauce off my finger, which I'll be honest, that I don't eat chicken wings for this very reason, because I do not like saucy fingers. Like, I don't like a bunch of stuff on my fingers. So he is literally like, he licked all 10 of his fingers clean, y'all. Okay? All 10 of them. And I was absolutely disgusted. So I sat there and was like, okay, this is a one and done. Like, I'm never going out with this man again. As he's eating this chicken, I go to the restroom and I call my best friend, but she is not nearby, so she can't come and get me, because I'll be honest, y'all, I was going to totally like dip out on this man. Like, I was not going to stay for the rest of the day. Get back to the table. I'm like, okay, let's wrap this up. So when the bill comes, he like folds the money up really, really tight and like stuffs it in the envelope, like stuffs it in the, what is it called? Like in the little like envelope that they bring your bill in. But something about me just felt like it wasn't enough money. Like something about it, it felt, I've never seen anybody fold their money like that to pay a bill at a restaurant. It was a first. I also knew someone that worked at this restaurant. I knew one of the waiters. So I could not walk out in good conscience knowing that it was a possibility that this man had shorted the bill. Sure enough, at this point, I have nothing to lose. Like normally on a day, I would never reach into the bill. Like I would never reach and like count somebody's money. But at this point, I have nothing to lose. I know somebody that works here. I'm not comfortable with the way you're paying this bill, so I have to make sure there's enough money here. There was not. So I put more money with it, like to leave like a decent tip, and we leave. At this point, I'm like, get me back to my car. This is why I drive on first dates, because you never know. So on the way back to my car, he's blasting that West Coast rap again, and he reaches over and tries to put his arm around me and says, so are we gonna hang out the rest of the night? Like, are you gonna stay over for a little bit? I said, no. Nope. I have something else to do. And I got to his house. I don't even know if the car was in park before I got out and got in my car and went home. So that was the most awkward date I've ever been on. Also the worst date. Number 3, what is my dream job? I saw that, I'm like, I don't dream of labor. But if I had to pick, my dream job would be serving as the creative director only for my brand, because entrepreneurship is a different bag all across the board. So my dream job would be for me to wake up every day and just design and work with clothes, style clothes, creative direct photo shoots, creative direct video shoots. That would be my dream job. To do it for my brand or another brand. But that is what I consider to be the ultimate life, is one in which I spend my days designing and just being creative. Number 4 is, what is my ideal relationship? So this one is kind of interesting because I was trying to figure out like the best way to answer it. But I guess my ideal relationship is one that is full of a lot of fun, a lot of love, and a lot of growth and experiences. Because I am a lover girl, okay? I absolutely love love. I love being in love. I love seeing people in love. I love love. So my ideal relationship has to be rooted in love. It also has to be rooted in enjoying each other's company and having a lot of fun. Life is gonna life, right? We're gonna have our ups, our downs, we're gonna have our trials, we're gonna have our tribulations, okay? And challenges and the weight of life is going to come at us regardless. And so in my relationship, there has to be an element of just fun and enjoyment, because I know that that is going to help us balance out the ebbs and flows of life. It also ensures that I have a friendship with my mate. And so that is something that is very important to me as well. Growth and experiences are what I consider to be 2 pillars of a long-lasting relationship. Because if you can grow with somebody and you can experience different things with them, whether it's traveling, whether it is major life milestones, if you can go through that with somebody and stick by each other's side, then I consider that to be a very healthy relationship and a very balanced relationship. So those are 4 things that are very important to me. The 5th, but most important, is that we have a foundation in God for our relationship, because like I said, life is gonna life. there's going to be temptation, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be difficulties, there's going to be a lot of things thrown at us just over the course of our time together. And if we don't have a foundation in God to keep us grounded, to keep us focused, to bring us back together when life lifes, then we don't stand a chance. So my ideal relationship is one rooted in love, fun, growth, and sharing experiences, and most importantly, a firm foundation in God. Number 5, what qualities do you value in a partner? My number one quality that I value in a partner is communication. Someone that is able to communicate healthily with me, somebody that I'm able to fully communicate with, and somebody that values understanding. That is super important to me. Another quality is obviously a relationship with God. Everybody has their own walk, and I don't judge anybody for where they are on their walk. I think it's just important to know that you never perfect your relationship with God, and it's something that always requires work. And so as long as my person is invested in growing in that relationship, then that is all I care about. Another thing that is super important is a sense of humor. Because again, life. And one thing I've seen by looking around me, the older people in my life who still have their sense of humor, they're the healthiest and they're the happiest. And that is something that I aspire to be. When I get to my 60s and 70s, I still want to have my sense of humor, and I still want to have a light about me that life didn't dim because I dealt with ups and downs. So a sense of humor is super important. Another thing is going to be an interest in style. Okay, so style is definitely subjective. Everybody has their own personal style, but I think somebody who has a style about them, whether their style is wearing all black every day or wearing bright colors every day, I think that somebody who has their own style is somebody that is able to healthily express themselves. And so that is something that's important to me, not just from an aesthetic or vanity standpoint, but I think if you're truly aware of who you are and what you enjoy, what you like, and how you want to present yourself to the world, then you have a style about yourself that is very unique to you. And so I want somebody who has their own sense of style. And obviously you have the things I need. I want them to be honest. I want them to be trustworthy. I want them to be dependable. All of the things that I think good people are, I want in my mate. Number 6, what was the last thing that brought tears to your eyes? So I am a crybaby, okay? I enjoy a good cry. The last thing that brought tears to my eyes was watching my oldest niece walk across the stage at her graduation. I wasn't able to be there physically, but watching her walk across the stage and get her diploma was such like a heart-warming moment for me, because I mean, it's like they grow up so fast. You know, she was just like 6 years old. You know what I mean? So watching her as this like young woman, getting her diploma and with her cords and all her accomplishments, I was absolutely elated. And as a proud auntie, I cried my eyes out. And I feel like I'm even about to cry now just thinking about it. But that was the last thing that brought tears to my eyes, because she's gorgeous and she's such a good person. And I'm so excited to see how she's going to do life. And so that was something that brought tears to my eyes. Ooh, now y'all got me about to cry on YouTube. Number 7, what's one thing you have to accomplish? One thing I have to accomplish is I have to design a capsule collection for a major sports team or a major sports star. So whether it is a WNBA team, a college team, a professional women's athlete, I have to design a collection for someone in that space. That is on my bucket list. It has to happen. So that is something that has to happen for me. Okay, so this next one is good. It's number 8. What are your thoughts on cosmetic surgery and procedures and how it's become almost a trend rather than maintenance or upkeep? What's funny about this question is I actually thought to make a YouTube video about why I've never chosen cosmetic surgery, especially after being on my fitness journey for over 10 years. That's something that I've definitely gotten questions about over the years. Well, number 1, I've gotten questions that I've already had surgeries, that I've already had BBLs, that I need to share my doctor instead of my workout routines, which is absolutely insane. I have never, ever gone under the knife for anything cosmetic, ever. My body is 100% natural. And if you pay attention to photos from when I was larger, you see that my body is still in the same proportions it was when I was almost 300 pounds. And a fact about me is that my body grows in proportion. So if my waist is 30 inches, my hips are 50 inches. And that has been my body for my whole adult life. So when if I was to gain 30 pounds, the 30 pounds will be evenly distributed around my body. The reason that's a gift and a curse is because I don't look like my size a lot of the time, but because I don't look like my size, it's very easy for me to put on weight and not fully realize it until I do something like try to put on a pair of jeans and they won't come over my hips. So that is all facts about my body. My viewpoint on surgery. Well, I have a few hot takes. I believe that because surgery has become something so common and something almost trendy, I honestly feel that it is important for women, especially who undergo these procedures, to have some type of like mental health check-in with a professional before they go through these surgeries. I've seen videos of women recapping their surgery experiences, and I've seen women regret their decision. My other issue with cosmetic surgeries and how commonplace they are is that there is not a lot of emphasis on maintaining the surgeries after they are done. So what I mean by that is when you have liposuction, when you have a BBL, when you have anything like that, you have to maintain those bodies with either exercise, regular massages, or some type of other maintenance routine. I've seen women who have had these surgeries done, and because they did not do anything to prepare themselves mentally to maintain those bodies after they got off the table, they are now back at their starting point, or sometimes even worse off. Number 9, what type of content can viewers expect to see on your channel? So on this channel, like I said, we talk about the things, whether it is mental health, physical health, self-care, self-maintenance, traveling. Like, we are here to talk about the things that help us feel our best. So Health is a Luxury is a channel for the girlies and the guys who are focused on feeling their very best, looking their very best, and being their very best. So you can expect content about my weight loss journey. You can expect content about my fitness journey now. You can expect me to talk about things like relationships as that becomes a more prevalent part of my life, or things like running a business and how that may have impacted me, or how being an entrepreneur impacts me mentally or physically for that matter. Expect for me to share content on all of those things, and of course things that you guys want to watch. So if you share with me a topic in the comments that you would love for me to touch on, like, let's get into it, let's talk about it, because I'm here for y'all. Now this is number 10, but I do have a bonus question that I'm going to get to after this one. So let's do number 10. How do you stay motivated and creative when brainstorming new video ideas? I am motivated by like continuing to grow this community. Like, I have loved my YouTube journey so far, whether it's connecting with, people in my creator communities or connecting with new viewers. Like, some of y'all have found me on Instagram and TikTok and connected with me there. So that is what keeps me motivated to keep coming up with new ideas. What helps me stay creative is discussing things from a new perspective. So if I'm looking on YouTube and there's something I want to talk about and I'm not seeing anybody talk about it, that's what I need to be talking about. Or I'm not seeing anybody talk about it in the way that I would approach it, that's what I want to talk about. So that helps me stay creative when it comes to brainstorming new ideas. It's something I want to be very intentional about, because like I said, I started this channel for a purpose. It's not just me getting on here and sharing random videos. It's really about me being purposeful and being intentional in what I'm sharing, because I want it to mean something to the people who are watching it. And so that is my biggest motivator and my biggest focus when I'm coming up with new ideas. But that's how I stay creative and how I stay motivated. So this is the bonus question. What are 3 things that I would tell my younger self? So by younger self, I think I'm gonna go back to high school Crystal. 3 things I would tell high school Crystal. So number 1 would be, your brilliance is your power, and don't let anything distract you from living in your brilliance. That would be number 1. Number 2 would be to remind teenage Crystal, high school Crystal, that you are destined for greatness. And as long as you keep that in mind, then that nothing that you do towards that goal is in vain. because it's gonna feel like it. It's gonna feel like you're doing some things that are not on the path. It's gonna feel like some things that you may not want to do, but I promise you, if you are always living from a space of recognizing and fully realizing your greatness, then you'll be just fine. Number 3 would be that you are beautiful. No matter what is said to you, you are beautiful, you are worthy, and you are perfect. Those are 3 things that I would say to teenage Crystal, because she needed to hear that. Those are my questions. That was our little Q&A / get to know me. Let me know if you guys like this video, because like I said, we can do a part 2. If there's something that I didn't answer, something I didn't touch on at all that you're very curious about, leave me a comment so that I can prepare the next video and we can get into even more fun facts about me and get a little bit more in my business, okay? You know what your favorite Q&A of this video was? Make sure you like and subscribe, and if you know somebody who has experienced any of these things that I shared or could learn from anything that I shared, make sure you send this to them so they can check it out as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. This video was so much fun. I can't wait to do another one. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I am currently doing a We Got Clothes in the Closet series, and we could talk about that more on this channel as well, because y'all know I love talking about fashion. So if you guys want to talk more about fashion on this channel as well, let me know in the comments. But I will talk to you guys later. Bye.